Dear members and friends of St. Paul Lutheran Church of Port Huron, Michigan, in the last month we have experienced a whirlwind of change which has occurred at lightning speed. At the end of August, Pastor Bonnie announced to me and the council that she was resigning her call at St. Paul. Pastor Bonnie felt God calling her in a new direction of ministry, which was the chaplaincy program. Pastor Bonnie spent a considerable amount of time in prayer and thought to discern if this was the direction God wanted her to take. She then applied for the program and was accepted. Due to the timing of the program, which was beginning a new session at the end of September, it was imperative that Pastor Bonnie quickly resign her call. And this created the suddenness of her resignation. Earlier, an ELCA pastor spoke with Bishop Chris and said that due to personal circumstances, he would be open to a call in this area. At the time the request was made, there were no calls available, but with the resignation of Pastor Bonnie, the whole situation changed. St. Paul was open for a call, and a pastoral candidate was available. As we think about our God sightings and the timing of this, surely God's hand was at work. Normally, a call committee would be organized, a parish profile would be developed, demographics of our congregation and the community would be looked at, our mission and vision statement would be reviewed, and we would look at our strengths and areas in which we could grow and develop further ministry. A committee has already worked on the mission and vision statement and was ready to present it to the congregation when COVID struck. With Pastor Bonnie's deep involvement with the Synod, they were very familiar with the congregation at St. Paul. The Synod, of course, knew the pastoral candidate, his strengths, interests, and the kind of ministry he was performing at his church, and was able to determine that he would be a good fit with St. Paul. And this is why the process has moved forward at such a rapid rate. It has only been a month and all of us are in the grieving process. Like us, Pastor Bonnie is and will continue to grieve the loss and separation of family here at St. Paul. We too will continue to grieve the loss of Pastor Bonnie. There are several things to keep in mind. The grieving time will continue over a period of time. If we extend the call to this candidate, we will have about a 6-week period to remember, to recognize, and honor Pastor Bonnie's ministry here. During her time here, Pastor Bonnie and we at St. Paul tried many new experiences. What a legacy to her to know that we are willing to move in a new direction, the quickness of the call, which is presented to us. We must also remember that we are resurrection people. And in loss and separation, we experience comfort, strength, hope in the new life ahead. We need to remember that should the pastoral candidate accept the call, he also will be experiencing loss and separation from those he has served. And we will have the opportunity to work through the grieving process together, comforting and caring for each other. Another thing to remember is that this is a 3-year term call. And during that time, both congregation and pastor will evaluate the fit and determine if the call will become a permanent call. Another aspect of this call is that we have the opportunity to serve and minister with God's people at St. Martin. Because of the size of their congregation, which is approximately 25 members, the called pastor could provide pastoral care, since together both congregations are about the size of an average congregation. The candidate feels that this is a very manageable possibility. Pulpit supply would call for discussion and negotiation along with reimbursement for this service. It is my hope that this will provide more clarification for what is taking place at this time. If there are further questions, you may call me or a council member. God's blessings as we move forward.